Joined then by Dan Tracey from the Come On You Spurs podcast. Dan, how's it going to begin with?
Yeah, very good. Thank you. Yourself?
Not too bad, thanks. It is just the football stars aligning, isn't it, for Sunday? Nuno's first away game and first return to Molineux, second game of the season. Let's just talk a little bit about Nuno to begin with. We were talking before we started recording this that he was maybe 6th or 7th choice, but you're still going to get behind him.
Well, I think you've got to, really, haven't you? I mean, yes, there's an element of disappointment that after the names that we were linked with, someone like Antonio Conte's ilk, maybe even a Pochettino return. Personally, I wouldn't have gone for that because I'm a big believer that managers should never really go back because you're never quite as good second time around. But, of course, when you're looking at that calibre of manager, you're thinking, well, actually, this could be the natural progression past Mourinho. And then you're going down the shopping list, as it were, and you're getting to Graham Potter and Ten Hag and so on and so forth. And then you're going, right, okay, well, we need a manager. And it gets to Nuno, and you're thinking, no disrespect to him at all, but he was no one's real first choice. But he's here, and why not get behind him? And if he can do great things like Sunday, then maybe we have got a good manager. It might be the kind of new start that we need, just a different kind of name. Like, I don't know, someone like Martin Jol, who wasn't the glamour appointment, but he put building blocks in for the next couple of managers to make good use of. So I don't think it's going to be a bad appointment, whether it's trophies and, really pushing for the Premier League again, I don't know, but let's buckle up for the ride and see where we go.
I mean, it was one of those where it looked like the business was going to be done early, getting rid of Mourinho at the time that he did, and it just didn't turn out to be the case. It's something that seemed to roll on for a long time, but I'm sure you're getting used to that at the moment. What's the latest situation with Harry Kane?
Oh, who knows, really? I mean, there's so much conjecture. I get bored of reading the conjecture. Personally, I feel he's off. I think the wall of silence regarding our win over Manchester City on Sunday, just the fact that, even just a very quick tweet to say, well done, the lads, or something very basic, or just something beforehand. He's obviously being coached or managed behind the scenes by his brother or his team. And I don't think they're doing a very good job. You could even argue they didn't do a good job by tying him down to a 6-year contract and then asking for this break after 3 and this gentleman's agreement and so on and so forth. So I just feel that, has he checked out? I also feel that an element of the fan base have almost, they have turned on him, to be honest. And you're seeing him getting tagged in tweets by people on Twitter, and you're thinking, if that's trying to help him stay at the club, it's not. And I just feel that, I just think there's too much noise. Unless, Levy does his, Daniel Levy, what he's good at, his MO of really digging in and saying, look, it's going to be 160 million. It's my way or the highway. But I can see City just being persistent, and I think they will bite the bullet eventually. But I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be a bitten bullet on, say, I don't know, August the 29th, and we've got 2 days to buy a striker. So logically, Tottenham don't really do logic in the transfer market, but they should try and buy a striker first and just get that business in. Otherwise, if they've got £160 million burning in their back pocket, all the other clubs will be like, right, well, that's an extra 10 million on top because, it's like a desperation tax, if you will. So, yeah, I mean, if you were to ask me again in 2 weeks, I think yes. What I think will happen in 2 weeks is Kane will be gone. He'll be in a Man City shirt, and we'll have some form of replacement. But replacement's not the word either. It'll just be someone in the Tottenham squad because you can't replace Harry Kane. It's just how you evolve from there on.
It's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, I've seen in some of the red top papers today that Raul Jimenez has been linked with a move. I mean, do you think there's any substance in that?
Well, I mean, it's going to be the way, isn't it, that any Wolves player worth their salt is going to be linked with Tottenham because it's 2 + 2 = 4 and it's lazy journalism. Would he come to Tottenham? Possibly, no disrespect to Wolves, but it is up the food chain in terms of a club and stature and, Europa Conference League this season alone. But there's potential, let's put it that way. But I think also maybe Jimenez owes not necessarily a debt to Wolves, but obviously they have backed him through the injury and all that. It'd be a little bit naughty for him to say, right, well, I'm off at the first opportunity. So, you could slot in any name, Ruben Neves, Traore, just any Wolves player who's been half decent. And if Nuno is perhaps looking to go back to his old club, there's the rumour.
And let's just have a look at the weekend then. The games do come thick and fast this season, it seems, obviously catching up with coronavirus and that sort of thing. Did you go to the game against Manchester City?
No, I don't. I live in Newcastle now, so I'm a long since departed season ticket holder. So I would have loved to have gone because the atmosphere looks absolutely incredible. Atmosphere that wasn't there when I was a season ticket holder. I think it was a bit of settling in, and I think also it was an indifferent time in terms of Tottenham and their footballing style. But again, that new era, even just seeing everyone waving the flags, it's just, there's a bit of vibrancy there. Dare I say, it's like the old White Hart Lane. So the perfect start to a new season, and long may it continue.
In terms of a starting 11 for Spurs, I mean, I've got mine rolling along the bottom of the screen at the moment. I don't know how far off it is, but that's what we've seen sort of banded about at the moment. Would you make any changes to that? And if you just read them out for the people listening to the podcast, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. So you've gone for Lloris in goal, a back four of Tanganga, Eric Dyer, Romero and Sergio Reguilon. Midfield 3 of Højbjerg and Ndombele Winks. And there's Bergwijn, Mora. You've actually only given me 10 players. So let's assume Sung is in that.
We'll miss one out.
Yeah.
As a sending off, who got sent off?
Let's go for Sun up tops. But I don't know. I think I'm always of the school, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And after beating Man City, you are looking at it and thinking, maybe we should just go with what we've got. I mean, Dele Alli had a very good game, I thought. Much more disciplined and a different role to what he would usually play. We know him as a not quite second striker, but someone who can pick up the headers and the drop-down balls for a striker to latch onto. That was a different kind of role. And I don't know if he will play as a number 10 in that, how he used to play set up under Nuno. So I don't even know if Harry Winks has much of a future at Tottenham, if I'm honest. So I would go with, I would drop Harry Winks. I mean, do you know what? Even Ndombele, to be honest, I'd rip up that midfield. I think the fact that Oliver Skipp played really well, I've no reason to drop him. I would be very surprised if there's many changes. I think Romero could be a shout to actually play, but it would be harsh on either Sanchez or Dyer to drop either one of them. Then again, they were largely castigated last season, both of them, due to performance. So we can't be too quick to say Tottenham's back four problems are solved. We don't need a £42 million defender. So I think if there's going to be one change, I would go Romero. But to be honest, I think it would be largely unchanged from what we saw against City on Sunday.
So nobody called Harry will be on the pitch
on Sunday. We're going for a Harry-free zone, unless you've got any Harrys lurking in the shadows. No,
Harrys from our point of view. Let's do it. I mean, we know we hate doing them, but if we do a score prediction, Dan.
Okay, I'll go for 2-1 because I think obviously Wolves' first game of the season, you're going to be up for it from a crowd point of view. So that's going to put Tottenham at a little bit of unease, but I think we'll have that buoyancy from Sunday of last week. Of course, there is the Pacos Ferreira game on Thursday, so whether we're a little bit leggy, but I think we'll just have enough in the tank, especially you can't really use that excuse early in the season. So I think we'll get over the line with a 2-1 win.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, where can people come and listen to your content if you just give yourselves a plug, if you don't mind?
Yeah, sure. So it's the Come On You Spurs podcast, which is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts and SoundCloud. The Twitter account is COYS_COM. It's the Come On You Spurs podcast account. So basically, just the Twitter is our kind of main feed for all the podcast links, which records every Monday night, and you can catch it anytime across the week or across the season.
Perfect, Dan. Well, best of bad luck, of course, for the weekend, and we'll look forward to catching up with you later on in the season.
Thank you very much, mate. Look forward to it.